and welcome into our very first episode of This Week in Kahok Nation. I am Todd Duke. This over here is Clay Smith. He's the athletic director for Collinsville High School, for those of you that don't know him. And after all these years, I still call him Coach Smith, so forgive me if I keep on referring to him as Coach. Yeah, I'm sure it is. And we welcome you into our very first episode. We planned this about a month ago, and things kind of took a little bit of a turn due to the pandemic and all the precautions that we have to take inside. So here we are outside, and we're hoping to bring you an episode a week, at least for the next 2 months until basketball season gets underway, and we have some more sports content that we can offer you. And now, why we are both involved in sports, this is not just going to be about sports, although this first episode is pretty much all about sports, but we're going to try to interview also some teachers, educators, administrators, and some of the folks in the Collinsville area that sponsor us and sponsor the school and things like that. So we welcome you into our first show. We are going to be co-hosts, sort of speaking. This one we are together, but there's going to be a lot of times where we can't. So Coach will do some interviews with his phone, and I'll do some interviews with my phone, and then we'll splice them all together, and we'll present you what we hope to be a entertaining show for the next couple of months.
What a great opportunity for us and our community members and our kids, and just show everybody what we're all about.
Yeah, that's right. So this week on the show, we have Ricky Merlack. She is a junior Lady Kahok golfer, and / guest co-host Clay Smith. We're going to get into some sports details as far as everything that's going on in the world of Kahok sports with the pandemic going on and all that stuff. And then we also have Mr. Rayshawn Taylor. He's going to be joining us on the show this week. So obviously the first guest we're going to have is Coach Clay Smith over here. And Coach, let's start off by talking about the challenges that this pandemic has brought to you and the school and the sports department since the middle of March.
Yeah, so obviously everybody, it's hit us all in different, ways, but last March will be a time that I never forget in my life. And I know to some people that seems mediocre, but in our world, especially when you have athletic teams that are making great runs and having good seasons, and to have those seasons taken away. And, obviously at that time we didn't realize the bigger scope or bigger picture that we'd even be living this now. That was quite a time that took the wind out of our sails, to have our kids, to have to tell them that they can no longer compete, and tell our coaches they can no longer practice and play games was tough for not only myself as an athletic director, but for you, obviously, and for our entire community. And it just, it was crushing.
Yeah, it was. Hindsight being 2020, which we're gonna use that, and that's gonna sound totally different from here on out.
Right.
Hindsight is 2020, looking back on everything that transpired and the cancellation of the basketball season, knowing what we know now, knowing what we can and cannot get away with. Do you think it was feasible that we probably could have finished that basketball season?
I don't know. Looking back on it now, it's tough to say because things have transpired and changed so much. I don't think we really knew what we were up against. Obviously, now that what we do know, I don't know that we could have finished it, because everything was changing so rapidly, and it was day to day with, at one point we were getting ready to go to Pekin on a bus for basketball, and then the next day it was only 50 fans, and then within an hour it was no fans, and by that evening I was eating dinner with my family and got a text message that said the season was done. So it's hard. You just feel so bad for those kids, not only basketball, but for our spring athletes and their coaches. And I just, my heart bleeds purple, and it was devastating for our kids. I'm glad we're doing things the correct way now and doing what we can to get to play. And it's baby steps, and we're not where we want to be. Obviously, we would love to be here on Friday nights and on Tuesdays and Thursdays watching soccer. And but right now we're just doing what we can, and the coaches and the kids have been awesome so far this school year, following the protocols and the guidelines set in place, not only here around the conference and around the Metro East. It's been great to see. So hopefully we can transpire that and continue it and get in the rest of our seasons.
We, of course, focused on the basketball season back in March when all that was going down, because it was the one that got affected immediately and so harshly. We kind of put on the back burner the fact that the softball teams, the baseball teams, and the girls soccer teams couldn't even get a season started. So it was devastating, first of all, because we knew we had the horses to probably go to state and maybe even come away with some kind of a trophy. So that was the first devastating part of it. And I think that once everything kind of settled in to where we all knew we weren't going anywhere for a couple of months, the rest of them kind of falling by the wayside seemed inevitable, so it wasn't as hard.
Yeah, it was still a tough pill to swallow, but at least, and I would keep on going back, and at least the winter sports, they were able to have a senior night. Well, not all of them, but they were able to play games and be recognized in some way. Whereas the spring sports, they got absolutely zero. Some of them had 2 weeks of practice. Some of them didn't have much. We were trying to launch off a boys volleyball season, which was new to the school, which was a hard hit for them because there was a lot of steam rolling for that and a lot of positive energy. And our numbers were up. We had a new boys tennis coach who was trying to get things ready to roll. Just a lot of aspects in there and things, and you just you don't want to relive it, that's for sure.
No. All right, so flash forward to August. We're getting ready for a brand new school year, knowing that sports is probably not going to happen. So give me your thoughts as you head into the month of August. You're a couple of weeks away from school starting and you're still trying to digest all this.
Yeah, it's tough because it's the unknown, right? And you have a plan as an AD. Obviously, you're well organized, you're planned out, 2, 3, 4 years in advance with our schedules, and you have an idea where we're going to be. That unknown of where we're going to be in August, I think, is the part that really got you. You wake up in the morning and I turn on my computer and I do my normal routine, and you look at the schedule and the calendar and you know what date you're supposed to start, and then it's the what ifs. And those what ifs started happening. And the fluid part of the situation is very hard because you love consistency, and people that know me know that I love consistency and normalcy. So I think that's the hardest part for me, to adjust day by day, just knowing that, hey, I can have something set at any given moment in time that can be flipped upside down, and it's totally a new script, which has happened. Our schedules, we have totally revamped all of our athletic schedules, and we've already had to make several changes to many of those schedules that we've changed already. So, we just have to be, I keep on saying to the coaches, flexibility and adaptability is key, and I think that's going to be the theme for 2020 as we go on.
That's Clay Smith, Athletic Director here at Collinsville High School. I'm Todd Duke. In case you don't know what I look like, you only hear my voice, never see me in front of the camera. All right, so we've gotten to that point now. Let's talk about the coaches and what they have had to deal with so far and how they have had to deal with the fluidity of the moment.
Yeah, so our coaches have done a great job so far. And, being a coach is not an easy thing to do in a normal year. And now the extra burden of things that I put on them, only because we want to keep our kids safe and our coaches safe, you feel like you're just stacking the deck against them, and you walk away thinking, how much more can I make them do on top of their regular coaching duties? And they're doing a tremendous job so far. We have cross country and golf and tennis and swimming in competitions, and they're following protocols. They're doing temperature checks. They're doing symptom forms before they come. And this was before the IHSA granted us fall contact days. So now we went from literally doing 0 in the spring to just starting off with a little bit here in August. And, except for today, it's a rarity because it's a Friday, but normally after school, these campuses now full of practices going on with these contact days, which is great to see. But again, in order to fulfill those contact days, these coaches are taking temperatures, the student athletes are filling out questionnaires. Mom and dad have probably filled out more waivers in the last couple months than, they really want to, but I'm a parent, and if I want my kids to play, which they are playing club sports right now, I'll fill out as many waivers as I can in order for them to have that normalcy back in their lives. Because these kids and these coaches and the community, they need athletics and they need the sports in their life.
All right, now come to us from the student-athlete aspect of it. I think of all you coaches and the student athletes, I think for all three entities involved, the student athletes have to be the most frustrated.
Yeah, I think they are, and I've talked to a lot of them in the halls, and I go in the weight room every day and just kind of talk to them and see how they're doing. It's tough because they need that normalcy in their life too. I keep on going back to that, but at one point you're saying you're going to play, and then the next hour, oh, sorry, you're not going to play. And then they see friends from club in neighboring states playing, and then what? Or they play club sports and they go to other states and they're able to play as normal following certain protocols. So it's just a sign of the times, and I just keep on stressing to them that we're going to keep on doing what we need to do the correct way, the Kahok way, and hopefully that leads into them getting a full season further down the road. Seasons have been flip-flopped, and I don't see Illinois making changes now in our fall seasons. I see us playing football in the spring if it can be done safely, in soccer and volleyball, and I think we just need to focus and put our energy to that. And a lot of these kids have grasped that, and they said, you know what? I have 6 more months to get stronger in the weight room. This is great. And they're finding the positive in it, which is fantastic. And the kids that were going down the wrong path and not seeing eye to eye about it, I think have have grasped onto that concept and got on that train. And there's a lot of positive energy right now in our hallways and particularly in our weight room where I go visit a lot, because I think the kids are realizing now that, you know, they can't take anything for granted because, again, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow or an hour or next week.
And we, of course, lost the basketball season last year, lost girls soccer and softball and baseball, so there will be no state championships crowned in any of those sports for 2020. And here we are in the 2020-2021 school year, and it's kind of looking the same for all the other sports. There's not going to be any state championships, so once you make it to regionals, or in the case of girls golf, we just found out they're going to include sectionals, that's it, it's over.
Yeah, and cross country too, they're going to add a sectional, and again, that just shows everybody the fluidity of the situation. Yeah, right now the IHSA is saying no postseason past the regional, which, you know, is it right? I don't know. Is it wrong? I don't know. I don't have those answers. And again, you feel terrible for kids and coaches because there are some kids that say, okay, that's fine. As long as I'm putting on the purple white and I can compete, that's okay. And then on the other side, there's some people saying, well, if I can't compete for a state championship, then what's the point? And I hear that a lot throughout the state. I think in our hallways and the vibe in our school, people are just happy to be playing. You know, but that could change next week. You never know. And, you know, right now, I think the chances of us having our basketball season might be a little bit up in the air. There's a lot of questions on whether these kids are going to be required to wear masks while they're inside, and that's why you and I are outside right now, so we can social distance and not wear a mask. And it's tough. We've been watching kids work out inside with masks on, and they've been doing a great job, but it's not easy to do. I wear a mask all day when I work, and I've carried a box from point A to point B, and I'm definitely not as in shape as I used to be. It's hard. So do you expect these kids to wear a mask when they play? And those are some answers that we're gonna have to face here in the next couple of weeks, and sit down and have some conversations and see what we're going to do moving forward.
Another aspect of this is, especially for the seniors and for a little bit the juniors, there's no spectators allowed at anything that's going on, really. So that also includes college scouts. So there's really no college scouting going on.
Yeah, that's been another major question too. Now I know, you know, club plays into that. A lot of these college scouts are able to go watch club ball, and they can watch these kids play baseball tournaments and basketball tournaments and soccer and whatnot. But technology is a wonderful thing right now, and I know there's a lot of kids putting together highlight reels and whatnot and trying to just do what they can. I know the NCAA has played with their restrictions as far as recruiting and their timeline, so they're opening up so they can help one another. It is really awesome to see the different organizations working together to try and do what's best for the kids, and ultimately that's what it comes down to. And our school district has obviously done that for our kids, and our athletic department is doing that. You know, for example, there's a good chance that, you know, during a volleyball season per se, the new volleyball season, that club volleyball and high school volleyball could be played at the same time. Right. So right now, as the rule states, the kids can't play both. That's going to be an issue, not only for volleyball, but for soccer, for baseball, for softball. And you see a lot of those organizations now working together with high schools and with athletic directors and with coaches, trying to change their schedules and see what they can do for these kids. But that's just one example of how everybody's just coming together and making things work and being flexible and adaptable.
That is Clay Smith. I'm Todd Duke, and that is our first segment of our very first show of This Week in Kahok Nation. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, I'm going to sit down and talk things over with one Mr. Rayshawn Taylor. Coach Smith will be back for our final closing segment to give us an idea of how scheduling is going here in just a moment. But after this break, which is going to start off with our buddies from Code 3 Spices, they want to let you know that be on the lookout for their Meet America podcast that comes out on YouTube every Monday. I know you're a big fan of Code 3 and the guys down there.
Yeah, good friends of ours. And yes, definitely. Mike Radosevich, Kahok alum, great soccer goalie back in the day.
All right, so we'll hear from our friends at Code 3 Spices and a bunch of our other sponsors who we thank very much, and we'll be back with our conversation with Rayshawn Taylor right after this.
Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 302 East Main Street, Code 3 Barbecue Supply is your home for one-of-a-kind everything barbecue headquarters, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs and sauces and donates 25 cents a unit sold to first responder and military organizations to aid the fallen and assist with suicide prevention and PTSD awareness. Stop on by. See the guys at Code 3 Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of the Memphis in May first place world champion Patriot sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at code3spices.com.
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full body approach, whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues. We have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
The reviews are in. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville is a hit in the Metro East. Folks both local and visiting the area are calling Old Herald Brewery and Distillery a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is located at 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville and is home to one of the only restaurants in the state with their own brewery and distillery that produces some of the best brews and spirits in the area. And the food, all created by an in-house chef using local ingredients that will please any palate. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville has daily specials including patio service and curbside pickup. Get yourself a bottle or a growler to go, or dine on their patio where you can hear live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Don't forget about Old Herald's open mic night the second and last Tuesday of every month. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville. Check their Facebook page for daily specials, online ordering at oldheraldbrewery.com, or call 855-8027.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the Event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahok Sports Network and KahokSports.com.
Pace Design and Construction in Maryville. Whether building a new home, making an addition to the home you currently own, or finally getting around to that remodeling job you've been putting off, Pace Design and Construction in Maryville can help. Pace Design and Construction is a building and remodeling contractor you can trust. They provide the highest quality, they are dedicated to their customers, and are committed to completing your project on time and within budget. Pace Design and Construction in Maryville. Give them a call at 618-407-5466, online at pacedesignconstruct.com, or on Facebook at Pace Construction Design. And welcome back to This Week in Kahok Nation. I'm Todd Duke. This guy here probably needs no introduction to a lot of you out there. That is Mr. Rayshawn Taylor. graduated last year from Collinsville High School, owner of, let's see, the most points scored in one game, the most points scored in a career, and second on the list in most games played in Kahok history as far as basketball goes. So the accolades all around, man. So let's start off by talking about those records. Let's go first to the game when you scored 53 points against Trinity. Tell us a little bit about that game and when you finally felt like, hey, man, you know, this could be the time where I could actually break this single game record.
All right, back to like the start of the game. I started off okay, but I didn't start off high. It would seem like having 53. First quarter, I ended with like 7, so that's normal. But then the second quarter, I was scoring acrobatic layups, making threes, mid-range. I had everything going. So, yeah, then I started to know around like the third quarter, I had like 39 or something. And I'm like, oh, well, I probably can get 50. Like, I probably really can get 50, so.
Did you know at that point what the record was? Did you know it was 50?
No, I never knew the single game record. I knew the scoring record, but I never knew the single game. No.
Toward the end of the second quarter there, man, you know, most teams, I'm saying teams, relish going on a 13-0 run against their opponent. You did that all by yourself, man. You won a personal 13-0 run at the end of the second right before halftime. Is that when it kind of clicked in and you kind of knew what was going on?
I guess. I don't even remember that, honestly. It was just a crazy, crazy game. I don't even remember too much about it, honestly. I just know I had a bunch of points. It was like a blur. One
of the highlights of that, and your mom sent me the video of it, and I included it in last year's thing with the curly kneel dribble, man. You fell to the ground almost, and you stayed with the ball. Talk about going through that.
I remember coming off. I think I got bumped a little, so I slipped, and I seen a big dude. He started coming towards me, so I knew if I can get up quick enough, I could hit him with a like in and out, and I did. So when I got up, I had a little in and out, and then scored the bucket. I just heard the crowd go crazy.
You never stopped dribbling, did you?
Nope.
Yeah, that was cool.
Kept dribbling.
2,167 points. We all know it should have been more, but still, talk about working your way up to that point, and then that Belleville West game where it happened. Did you kind of get the feeling that was the game where it was going to happen?
I think that was the game I thought it was going to happen, but I really, at that point, I was really just trying to hurry up and get it out the way so we can get back, because I think around that time, that's when we was in that slump. We was playing kind of bad, and I think the record was the reason for that. So once I beat it and we got back to playing good basketball, that's when I was ready for that.
After you finally broke the record, did it feel like you had that weight lifted off your shoulders and things were a little smoother then?
Yeah, I did, because it's finally like people stop asking me like when I'm going to break it or worried about me breaking instead of the game. So it was finally like,
Then
off my shoulder.
Then the bad stuff happens, man. You guys are like, you know, you're in the playoffs and you're doing well and you're rolling right along. I think the big game, the big hurdle right then was beating O'Fallon. And once you beat O'Fallon, you guys felt like you had a pretty much a straight trip to the state championship level, no matter what trophy you came home with going to that level. But it all kind of got ripped out from underneath you. So tell us what you went through that day.
Well, the practice before it got canceled, like it was like a great practice. We was locked in, and we thought we was gonna play with no fans, obviously. But it still was like, we just can't wait to play. And once it got canceled, it's like it just hit everybody, especially the seniors, because it was our last run. But yeah, it really hurt everybody because we knew we had a legitimate chance to win it all. So.
And then the picture that was taken afterwards, you guys all in the locker room, the whole team together, man. Yeah. I've never seen a picture with so many dejected faces in my life.
Sad faces, yeah. Everybody. It started with KJ. KJ started it, then we all started, yeah.
Speaking of KJ, you guys were neck and neck there on the games played.
Oh, yeah, he beat me by...
beat you by 1, but I guess that's pretty cool, right? Because it's KJ.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm proud of him. I mean, that's one thing, like availability. That's a good thing to have, playing all them games without being injured or none of that. Because that's why I didn't get it, because I got hurt like my freshman year. And to play all them games without an injury, I think he only missed 2 games in his career. That's crazy. That's good.
It is. That's Rayshawn Taylor number 13 in your hearts there for the Kahok Nation. All right, so the pandemic shut everything down. You still graduated, weird graduation ceremony, everything, you know, it looked cool though. All the pictures I saw, they did the best they could with it. So then you start your freshman year at SIUE, and the reason you're wearing that brace is for an injury. Talk us through the injury and how it happened.
You know, just a regular play. Like I was just dribbling the ball, and one of my teammates ran into me, and I ended up. I mean, at the time, I didn't know that's what happened. I mean, it felt like we just bumped knees or something. So it wasn't. I didn't think nothing of it. But once I got the MRI done, and yeah, I just looked at. But I try to look at the bright side of it though. Like if it was a year to get hurt, I guess it would be this year since everything will be messed up anyway. But you know, I just try to. I'm going through it. I'm just having fun.
What else can you do, man? What else can you do, man?
Yeah,
you got your senior season cut short and your freshman season all because of a pandemic. This didn't even need to happen. Yeah. You know, it was going to be probably one of those weird years anyway. So how are you handling all of this pandemic stuff and your transition into college and you're going to school and you're trying to rehab and all that stuff?
I mean, I just think like everything happens for a reason. I don't know what it is, but I'm just thriving for real. Just, you know, yeah, I'm still doing my rehab regardless of pandemic, and I actually like online school for college, so that's how I look at it. Like it's easier for me, especially since I got hurt.
We're at the Taylor home, and he told me right after I got here that he just got through at school. So, what's a school day like for a SIUE attendee in the middle of a pandemic?
Honestly, some people got more in-person classes, but all my classes are online except public speaking. So that's the only class I got in person. It's every other week. So basically, what happens is you get on a couple Zoom calls a day, and then study hall, and then for me, I got rehab and all that. So and practice, weightlifting, all that. So
what the schooling part of it? You have something you have in mind that you're going to school for? You have a major or anything like that, or are you just trying to get the regular classes out of the way first?
I'm just getting the regular classes out of the way first. I'm still deciding. I came down to a couple, me and my advisor, but we ain't decided yet.
And you mentioned the rehab. Talk us about what a day of rehab consists of right now.
A bunch of exercises try to activate my quad, basically, because through the surgery, that's what they took part of. So, yeah, my quad still sleeps, so that's all. Basically, just trying to wake my quad up. Calf exercises, a lot of stretching, a lot of icing. That's basically it.
When what is
bike riding?
What is the rehab timetable here? When are you gonna get cleared to do basketball activities? Do you think?
I don't know. I'm not even looking at that right now. I'm just trying to get better every day. Basically.
All right. So now you're in your first year of college, and this is supposed to be the year where you're the college guy, man, and you get to go on campus and meet all kinds of other kids that you have not met before because it's a big school and people are coming from everywhere. Talk about that aspect of it. The personal socialization and making new friends in your new college and things like that. Are you allowed, or can you, or have you made friends and done anything other than the people that you already know?
No, I mean, I've met a lot of people, basically through Zooms and stuff. You know, we all just try to interact with each other through there. So I met a few people. So, and then my roommate became like one of my best friends. So that's a good thing. So
you're are you living on campus?
I'm going back tomorrow, but I haven't lived on campus in about 6 weeks.
So what else do you do to have fun right now these days in the middle of a pandemic? You got schooling and you got rehab. That's it?
Basically, I was watching a lot of the NBA, NFL games. That's basically all I do.
Well, we're airing this on October 7th, and we just found out last night that it's the Lakers and Miami Heat. So your prediction?
I'm a LeBron fan, so...
Did the Heat stand a chance? Is it going to be a sweep? What do you think?
Not a sweep. I think 5. I think 5 games. So I think it'd be pretty, not easy, but it's going to be hard games, but I think they're going to get the best of them.
Now, your Kahok teammates, we talked about KJ for a minute, Geladini, Kawan Smith, Skeet. I know you guys are going to be close for the rest of your lives, but you guys have all went to different schools. How is it keeping in touch with each other right now? Do you do that a lot?
Yeah. Especially, me and Skeet, that's my best friend. So, I always talk to him. KJ, I talk to him pretty much every day and learn. We still talk, so yeah, we just try to stay in touch with everybody. Keep base, and when Ski come back, we always hang. So
A lot of stuff going on in this world. We already talked about the pandemic. A lot of social injustice going on in the world too. And as a American of African descent, tell me what's going through your mind these days with all this stuff going on?
I think it's so crazy, but I don't really voice my opinion too much. But yeah, I just think what's going on is not right, obviously. But I try to. My school is trying as much as we can to try to bring awareness. But
all right, so
the basketball team, actually, one of our basketball girls had a little march that she put together, and we all marched for it.
You just turned 19, last week?
Yep.
Last week. So you are, for the first time in your life, going to be allowed to vote in a major election. Are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you who you're going to vote for because that's none of my business, and we're not here to talk politics or anything like that. So,
but yeah, I'm gonna vote.
How is that an exciting aspect of your life for you? First time you get to do something like that?
I mean, it's not too exciting, but I will do it though because I know it's important.
What about? I don't know how much you would give this thought, man. You're 19 years old, but you know you're going to have a legacy at Collinsville High School, and you're probably going to go down in the same likings as a Bogey Redmond and things like that. Have you ever thought about that and the impact you left on Collinsville High School?
Yeah, I thought about the impact. Like, I feel like when I got there, we wasn't too much thought of, but by the time I left, we was one of the top schools in the state and in the nation. So I'm proud. But obviously, it was my teammates too. It wasn't just me, but being the best player, it brings joy.
Any doubt in your mind that you guys would have made it all the way to that #1 championship trophy?
Of course not. I don't have no doubt. We definitely was going to win the championship.
All right. So
we had the best team.
I know this is a little bit far ahead and I'm putting the cart before the horse or everything, but have you thought about life after college? What's the plan after college? Do you know?
Yeah, I thought about it, but I don't know. I'm just going to live in the moment right now.
Yeah. So do you have, I mean, obviously you probably have aspirations of being in the NBA and things like that. Is that a realistic goal?
Yeah, I mean, it is for sure. But I mean, everything don't go as you plan, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys that are floating around this world who thought that same thing, and it didn't happen for them, and they went and had success overseas. Have you ever thought about going to play basketball overseas?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have.
Where would you like to go? Got any destination in mind?
I ain't really thought too much on that. I just want to play basketball.
All right, man. Anything else you'd like to tell the Collinsville folks before we get out of here?
Love everybody in Collinsville.
That's Ray-Sean Taylor. I'm Todd Duke. We're going to take a break. Ricky Merlack, Collinsville lady golfer, is coming up next. That'll be right around the corner after this brief timeout here on This Week in Kahok Nation. Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Everyone has those projects around the house that you just don't want to do. AW Outdoor Solutions can take care of that for you. Former Collinsville High School graduate Adam Welly owns AW Outdoor Solutions, and he and his crew can handle all of the dirty work around your home or business. whether that's tree trimming and maintenance, brush removal, power washing, gutter cleaning, and leaf raking and removal. AW Outdoor Solutions can handle that and much more. AW Outdoor Solutions is fully insured and offers free estimates on all of their work. AW Outdoor Solutions. Call Adam Welly at 314-252-8010 or on Facebook at AW Outdoor Solutions.
Just because you can cut your own hair doesn't mean you should. The Shop, a great place in Collinsville for men and boys haircuts, is where you should take your hair. The Shop is owned and operated by Collinsville High School graduates Danny Kress and Jody Neiman and is located at 103 South Seminary Street in Uptown Collinsville. The Shop isn't just another place to get a haircut, as Danny and Jody take great joy in getting to know their clients and look forward to turning those clients into friends. When you sit in a stylish chair at the Shop, Jody and Danny pride themselves on getting to know you well enough to say, the usual? So, men and boys, if you're tired of the same old cookie-cutter approach to haircuts, check out Danny and Jody at the Shop. You may just walk out with not only a fantastic cut, but you may also walk out with a friend. Or two. The Shop in Collinsville, 618-772-7175. No appointment necessary. The Shop, 103 South Seminary in Uptown Collinsville.
All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number one on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent customer service. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Online at allprotees.com or on Facebook at All Pro Tees. Or call All Pro Tees at 344-2200.
Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville, owned by former Kahok Jay Merkel. At Extreme Details, they believe in the value of community and in helping the community hold the value of their vehicles. A sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details offers drop-off, pickup, and delivery service as well as a mobile service, whether that's a simple wash and wax or all the way up to a full detail job. No job is too big or too small for Extreme Details. Plus, Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal and vacuums every vehicle regardless of what package you choose. Cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, and more. Extreme Details in Collinsville, open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday. Call Jay Merkel for an appointment at 301-6033 or 977-1224.
Call Up Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Call Up Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Call Up Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call Up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call Up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
And we welcome you back into the This Week in Kahok Nation, our very first episode of our brand new podcast. I am Todd Duke once again, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce junior golfer, Kahok lady golfer, Ricky Merlak. So, before we get going into the world of golf, tell us about the personal world of Ricky Merlak. Family, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, dogs, cats, all that stuff.
Parents, Carla and Heath, and then I have two older sisters, Sam and Maddie, and I also have a little nephew.
Oh, my nephews are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they come over for a little while and then they go to somebody else's house.
Yep.
Yeah. So tell me, brothers, sisters, are you the middle child?
No, I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest. So how does that work when you're talking about competition within the family? Do they drive you, push you?
Oh, yeah. I strive to be better than both my sisters.
And are they golfers as well?
No, the oldest one was a cheerleader and the middle one was a soccer player.
All right, now what about school? You're a junior, so you have one more year left after this weird year that we're going through. So what are your favorite subjects in school?
Probably science or math. Even though those are the harder ones for me, it interests me more.
You're a numbers person?
Yes.
Yeah? Good at doing all that stuff in your head, or does it take you some time?
It depends on the subject.
Depends on the subject. Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, let's talk about some golf. First of all, what made you get into golfing? Why are you a Lady Kahok golfer?
When I was little, I golfed with my dad sometimes, not a lot. And then my mom mentioned it to me freshman year. I was like, oh, you should maybe try golfing. You did it when you were little. I was like, yeah, I'll consider it. At the time, I played basketball and volleyball. So I kind of picked between golf and volleyball for the fall season. So I just kind of went with it and got lessons, and I do not regret it at all.
No? So, and since you've started this year, freshman year, and now you're a junior, do you see yourself getting progressively better?
Yes.
Yes?
Freshman year, I shot around 115 or 120 was like my highest number, and now probably my highest this year was a 94, and it ranges from like 85 to 94. So.
Do you have any kind of heroes in golf? I mean, I know there's, the pro golfers, both the men's and the women's are out there, and, we all know some of the basic names in the world of golf. Do you have a favorite? Do you have somebody you follow?
I don't really follow anyone. I like Ricky Fowler because we have the same name, but that's sort of about it.
So, do you watch it on TV when it's on?
Yeah, my dad always has it on, so I just watch it with him.
And now do you gravitate more toward the PGA or the LPGA?
PGA.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of the LPGA that much.
No, I don't. I get the sense that not a lot of people do. I haven't found many that do anyway.
Nope.
All right, so now you're golfing for the Lady Kahawks, and you shot a team low 46 in the season opener at Rolling Hills in Godfrey. That sounds like a pretty good deal on opening day. Did you expect that kind of performance from yourself?
Kind of. I felt pretty confident in it, and I knew I could have done better, but with the 46, that's about what I shoot on 9 holes. So I was pretty happy with it. You
have, obviously, golf is one of those weird sports where it is, the high school level, it's a team thing. Mm-hmm. Once you get out of the high school level, and the college level, it's a personal thing. It's an individual thing. So tell me about the individual Ricky Merlack and her golf game, and then how that also helps out the team aspect of it.
For me, it's very much a mental game. So if I get myself worked up on a bad hole, then it usually does not end up very well on the rest of the holes. So for me, I need to keep myself calm and collected, and usually Schneider helps with that because he comes around and he's like, just take it hole by hole. So that works out. And then I feel like I can contribute to the fact that if someone is mad at themselves, you just kind of have to keep them motivated and be like, you're fine, it's okay to have a bad day or whatever, because eventually someone makes up for it. And then I don't know, it's just hard to think about it because it is such a team game, but you have to shoot your score and play your course before you can help the team.
This is Ricky Merlack, junior Lady Kahawk golfer. So a couple of days later, also at Rolling Hills in the Alton Scramble, finished 5th. You and Maya Clark combined for a 78. That was 6th place overall. Mm-hmm. How much did you relish the fact that you got to share that with a teammate?
It was very fun. Me and Maya are actually friends outside of golf, so being able to play together was a lot of fun to be able to put your weaknesses and strengths together and kind of hope for a good score.
Now, I get updates from the coach all the time, and I post them on the Kahawk Sports Facebook page. And it seems like every time I get a new post for a new match, you guys have gotten better since the last match. So talk about your coach for a minute and how much that helps you guys and where you're trying to get to.
Right now, our goal is to be in the 350s by the end of the year, by the end of the season. So our coaches are amazing. I would not trade our coaches for anything. Schneider is very calm and collected. He's like the put together one where if you need something, he's there. And then you have Henson, who is crazy and wild and is kind of like another high schooler. So they blend well together.
Now, I hear all the time, when the girls' basketball teams or the soccer teams or stuff like that, they get on the bus rides and they go to, do certain tournaments or certain games or stuff like that. And it's always a big time, it's camaraderie among the teams. That's the same thing in the golf game?
Yes, very much so. We're pretty much together 24/7. So we're very much of a family, I guess you can call it. And our big thing is to go out to team dinners, and after a match or something, we have a team dinner, and it's always a lot of fun.
How difficult has this season been in the world of the pandemic we're living in? Does that have any bearing on the game at all?
Not really. At the start, we had to wear a mask to play, which was kind of annoying because it was just felt like it was in your way. But now that you don't have to wear it anymore, it doesn't really have much of an effect.
Okay, so when we're watching the pro games, you know, say we're watching the U.S. Open that was just on last weekend, every golfer out there has their own caddy.
Yes.
That carries their clubs for them and gives them pointers and tips and this is what we should do here and what we should do there. You don't have that in the world of high school golf, do you? You have to carry your own clubs, and when it comes time to a hole, who are you talking to about how to approach it?
Yourself. You kind of have to play through what if someone, your coach or someone was standing right there. And lots of times your coach is there behind you saying like, okay, aim for this tree or do this with whatever. And lots of times you have to think through your mind like, okay, I need to do this to get there. And if that doesn't work out, it's fine because you're still going to be in a safe spot.
All right, so let's move on. September 3rd, team finished second in a tri-meet with Belleville East Alton at the Spencer T. Olin golf course. You shot a 41, Maya shot a 40. Again, and as we just talked about a little bit earlier, you guys progressively have gotten better and better. So tell me a little bit about that matchup.
That was a good day. We beat Belleville East, I think, for the first time in 4 or 5 years. And that was a good accomplishment because we've been working to try and beat more teams in our conference to eventually get out as a team for regionals and sectionals, hopefully. So it was a good accomplishment for us this year.
And you beat Belleville West on September 14th as well at Arlington, so you've got a couple of wins.
It's
bragging rights.
Yes, very much so.
September 17th, fifth place out of 12 teams at Yorktown. Now, I'm very familiar with Yorktown because, believe it or not, I golf too, but I'm just not that good at it. I believe that my personal best at Yorktown for all 18 holes was a 111 until this year when I came away with an 85. I was very, very happy about that. Talk to me about the challenges of Yorktown. It's a small course. Every hole is a par 3, and every hole is very, very different.
Yes. For me, the challenge is the shorter shots. So lots of holes, there's like 70 yards to 80 yards, and for me, that's more of a half shot of a pitching wedge or a wedge of some sort. So you don't go over the green. You really want to be short or on so you don't have to chip and you can still have a chance at par.
All right, so what's next for you guys? I know you got a couple of matches coming up this week, and then we just found out that we already knew there was going to be some regional competition.
Yes.
We just found out a couple of days ago that we're going to have sectional competition. So how pumped are you guys about that?
Very excited. I can't wait. Hopefully we get out this. It would be amazing if we could get out as a team this year because I know it's possible. It would even hopefully 3 or 4 girls could get out by themselves if we can't get out as a team.
Now you know the weather's going to change and it's going to start getting a little colder.
Yes.
How is life for Ricky Merlack playing golf in cold?
Well, I don't really have golf pants, so I wear a skirt, and you just really have to golfing with jackets and like things on my arms is really hard for me because I feel like I can't move. So I kind of just put my jacket on after, and then I take it off and put it back on, and it's just a repetitive process.
And golf is one of those games where you have to have some patience. Patience and the word teenager don't normally go hand in hand together. So do you and your teammates, do you find yourself getting impatient when you're out there and things aren't going your way?
Yes. Especially when you're already playing bad or having not a good hole, and then you have to go to the next hole and wait like 5 to 10 minutes for the other team to finish so you can go without hitting them. It gets time consuming, and it's not very fun sometimes.
Disrupts your rhythm?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you have to wait a lot, it kind of makes me think about it, and then I don't usually play well, but after that, if we play fast and at a consistent time and movement, then it gets going pretty well.
And we're recording this, what is today? Today is the 24th of September. We're not playing this back until October 7th. So let's just pretend that your regionals and sectionals are coming up. What's the mindset when you have to go into something like that? Is it the same as going to a regular meet at Yorktown or Spencer T. Olin?
No, you have to be serious, but you can't let your nerves really get to you. You have to try and stay calm, even though that's really hard, because I know for me, both years of regionals, I would get on that first tee box and I would be shaking so much that I can hardly hold my club. So it's a lot more mental that you just have to be like, okay, my club is going to do this. It's fine. Just chill out.
Do you have a favorite course around here you like to play on?
I like Far Oaks. A lot of people don't like Far Oaks, but for me, it's something about it I usually always play pretty good at.
All right, so the aspects of golf, you have your long game, your short game, and your putting game. What's the best game for you?
Probably short and putting game. That can usually save me if I hit a bad drive or hit a bad iron shot.
So that was going to lead me into my next question. What's the part you need to work on the most? I'm guessing it's the long part
Driver,
of your game.
yep.
So how do you work on that? Do you constantly go to the driving range?
For me, playing helps me more. I would rather like hit a driver iron, get on, chip and putt or whatever, and then work on it that way. I also go for lessons, and he helps me occasionally, so that helps.
What does the future hold for Ricky Merlak in the game of golf?
I'm going to consider college golf. I'm going to look into a few places. Maryville University I'm going to look at and contact a few coaches, and we'll see what happens.
What about the academic side of things? You already mentioned college. Do you have something in mind that you want to major in?
I want to major in finance and entrepreneurship and eventually own my own business. So I want to become a business owner of some sort.
You don't know what business that is yet?
Not yet, but
No.
that's the way I'm leaning towards.
Well, you seem very nice and smart, so whatever it is, I'll come buy something from you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so the season's almost winding down, and you guys, we already talked about, you seem like your team's getting better and better every week. So realistic expectations for regionals and sectionals for you?
For a team, hopefully 3 people get out. We are shooting for a team low of around 350. So that's our goal by the time our last match happens. So it'd be amazing if we could get that as a team at regionals or sectionals and get out of there. So
We are talking to Ricky Merlak, and she's getting ready to go for picture day over at Arlington. They're not going to make you guys wear masks for that, are they?
I don't think so.
I certainly do hope not. Hey, thank you very much for the visit. We'll be paying attention to you for the rest of the year, and maybe we can do this again next year.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ricky Merlak, everyone.
Are the lights on your dashboard putting on a show? Bring it to Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is also a T3 certified tire center. They can handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups, and the not-so-basics like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations: Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville. The Collinsville location is at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook.
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC or heater on the fritz? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipStLouis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884. The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org. Looking to buy a new home or sell your current one? Trust the Blaylock team of Keller Williams Marquis Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now. Trust the Blaylock team of Keller Williams Marquis to help you find the perfect home or to help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at 618-780-4622 or visit them online at blaylockteam.com or on Facebook at the Blaylock Team. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Brady Pest and Termite Management is your local pest control source. The Midwest offers its fair share of pest problems, and Brady Pest and Termite Management is up to the challenge. Whether it's pesky rodents in the cold winter months or ants, spiders, and other pests in the warm months, Brady Pest and Termite is your solution. And termites? Brady Pest is tops in the Metro East in termite management. Do you have unwanted pests? Then call the best. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Call 343-1790 or on Facebook at Brady Pest and Termite.
Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
First National Bank of Waterloo, celebrating over 100 years of banking. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo, now with locations in Collinsville and Maryville, for your mortgage and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, call Bill Metzger at First National Bank of Waterloo at 345-1121 or visit them with their new locations in Collinsville and Maryville or online at fnbwaterloo.com. First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, fish, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they still cater. Wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and much more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses as well as delicious sides. Cafe Agape in Collinsville is the only place to pick up a Kahawk sandwich or dog and the new Flamin' Kahawk sandwich. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road. Give them a call at 345-CAFE, that's 345-2233, and don't forget to tell them Stewie sent you.
And we welcome you back into our first edition of our podcast called This Week in Kahawk Sports. We'd like to thank Rayshawn Taylor and Ricky Merlack for joining us on the show, as well as Collinsville Athletic Director Clay Smith. But before we let you go, we want to ask you about the scheduling. We touched on it in the first part of this show, but things, as you mentioned, very fluid. You had a basketball schedule almost made out for the boys and the girls.
We were close.
And then the IHSA throws another wrench at you and says, you know what? Instead of 2 games a week, how about 3 games a week? So talk to us about the scheduling.
That's a great change that they made, and it helps everybody involved. But yeah, you're right. So they came out with the first rule was we can only play 2 games a week, and we have to play within our COVID region, which our COVID region involves 5 counties around us. So we're very limited on who we can play. So we went for it. We basically erased the schedule that we had. We started scheduling games 2 games a week. You and I were communicating on trying to get your schedule down, and I said, we're really close. We're almost there. And I feel like maybe it might have been the next day or very close after we had that conversation. Bam, the IHSA now opens it up and we can play more than 2 games a week, still within our COVID region, but we can fill it up as much as we want. So we kept a lot of things, we've added a lot of things, and we're slowly but surely working to get there. We're pretty close. Girls basketball is done for the most part. They can maybe use 1 or 2 more games if they're out there. Boys basketball, we're going back and forth working on it. It's tough to find opponents right now. We have not touched anything with baseball, softball, girls soccer, boys volleyball, only because that's so far down the road. We don't know if those dates are going to actually stick of when the IHSA is having us play or not. Girls volleyball is pretty solid. That's been changed 2 or 3 times, so that's ready to rock and roll. I'm excited about it. I think, it's going to be different than what we're used to because there's a lot of games. We're trying to just get them to play as much as we can. You know, a lot of those coaches normally wouldn't want to play 3 games a week. Now they're loading up, and we're playing 3 games a week. Typically your Tuesday, Thursday conference, and we're throwing a Monday in there when we can. Saturdays, which are uncharacteristic for some sports, but we're going to play when we can. So it's just been a matter of communicating with the ADs and the other schools around our COVID region and seeing what can open up. But it's been very interesting on the email wire, to say the least.
I bet so. All right, we've already lost things that are near and dear to our hearts here in Collinsville. Lost the Italian Fest a couple weeks ago, and it goes to go without saying that we're going to lose the Prairie Farms basketball tournament, which I know is heartbreaking for everybody involved.
Yeah, that's a tough one to swallow, and I will say right now we haven't officially canceled it yet. I know a lot of holiday tournaments have put something out there. I at one point had something written. I couldn't bring it to release it. It's a lot of work, but you don't realize how much you love something until you don't have it.
Right.
And the thought of me not being in this gym for 3 days straight, well, 4 or 5 days straight, me setting up and tearing down and whatnot, it's just it's what I know. I played in the tournament. I've been a part of the tournament my entire life, and now I'm running the tournament. It's my holiday break. My family's super excited because I'll be home for Christmas a little bit more. But right now, according to the rules, you know, at first the IHSA said, and this is a great example of things changing, said you cannot have more than 3 teams at a tournament. Now they've opened that up a little bit and said you can. Still has to be within your COVID region, but you can't have more than 50 people in the gym.
All right.
So once you figure out teams, workers, officials, you're shuffling teams in and out in a scheduling core where you can figure it out where 2 teams play and they leave while the other 2 warm up and you can bring them in. So I'm not going to say that the tournament's canceled yet, but I'm also not going to say that we're 100% ready to rock and roll. You know, Prairie Farms is a very valuable sponsor to us, and they've been great to us, so we're working closely with them to see how they want to move forward. We have to do what's financially right for the school district, and at the end of the day, we have to do what's right for the kids too, and kind of see the schedules and see how that works out for them as well. So we'll find out more in a couple weeks on that Prairie Farms tournament.
As the athletic director, have anything else you want to tell the folks before we head out?
No, I'm excited to be here. I know Todd and I have talked about this for quite some time, and just from my aspect to you, we're very lucky to have you in our community and what you do here for Kahok Nation. The support and the exposure that you offer to our kids is second to none. And I know when I go to other venues and when I talk to other schools in our conference, they're quite jealous that we have Kahok Sports Network. And I know you ventured out this fall and helped down at the middle school, which was awesome for some of those kids. I was down at a soccer practice with my son, and I walked past the dad who had his phone out, and he's watching his kid pitch on
Nice.
Kahok Sports, trying to be 2 places at once. So, you know, we just want to thank you for all that you do, and our community, they really grasp everything that you do, and you're just you're a staple in our athletic department. We're happy you're part of us.
Yeah, I love doing it. That's why I'm doing this, because I'm missing my sports.
That's right, everybody is.
I'm missing my sports. All right, fist pump on the
Air
fist
yeah,
pump.
there it is.
And that's Clay Smith. We're going to be back and forth, throughout the next couple of months as we try to get this thing off and running. And we appreciate you watching our very first episode, and we're going to have more to come. So for Clay Smith, Rayshawn Taylor, a big thank you. Ricky Merlack, a big thank you. I'm Todd Duke, and until next week, everybody, stay safe.